Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moltrap here, bringing you yet another StarCraft commentary. We got game number 2 here of the third, fourth place match. That's what those numbers on your screen mean in the middle there. The third, fourth place match of the 2005 ever OSL. Very exciting series this is shaping up to be. I mean, these are two absolute titans, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not surprised at all to see some great StarCraft being played here in this series. You know, I've said it before. This could easily have been the finals. You know, this could have been the finals very, very easily, and this could be a finals, I guess I should say. So, you know, this is for third place though. Which there's still, you know, I've mentioned this before, but just in case you missed it, there's still a lot of, you know, there's a lot of pride, but there's also a decent amount of money difference between third and fourth place. And, very crucially, the third place winner gets that bronze medal. You know, when you look down a player's record, you don't see those fourth places on their record. It's just not listed usually. First, second, third is, I guess, maybe precedent set by the Olympics or something. I don't know. First, second, third is who counts. But also the third place winner of a Star League gets a seed into the round of 16 of the next Star League, which is very, very important. Puts you in a solid position for getting into the round of 8 if you're a good player. And, you know, keeping your streak alive. I actually wonder, I've heard it before, but I've since forgotten. There is a record for, you know, consecutive Star Leagues, and I forgot who it was off the top of my head. But if you remember, leave a comment. Maybe I'll look it up in between the games and mention that in game number 3. But you know, if you can do decently in each Star League, you can kind of keep going in the Star Leagues. But getting that seed in the round of 16 in the OSL is a really big deal, because otherwise you got to go down to that round of 24, and it can be tough. You know, it can be tough. Those group stages are really easy to just kind of have a bad couple days and get eliminated. You know, so it's harder to prepare for those matches as well. But also, if you're the seed, you get to pick who's in your group. You get to pick the first person in your group. The third place player would be able to pick the third person, so they would get to choose from 10 players which one they want in their group. But anyway, XellOs changing it up a little bit. Instead of going for the one barracks kind of harassment into a command center, it's going for the double barracks here, and it's been scouted. It's been scouted by GoRush, so he kind of knows what's going on. We've got the spawning pool and the gas extractor finishing at the same time. He's going to go ahead and send out 2 drones. It's interesting, he's bringing back the scouting drone. Yeah, sending out some drones here. There's GoRush right there. And there's XellOs in the foreground. Cool little technique there, zooming out on him. What is going on here? Is he going to build a command center? He is going to build a command center! What a cool build here by XellOs. Doing the double barracks, putting a little bit of pressure on, faking his opponent into thinking that there's some massive attack coming very soon, and forcing him to build Sunkens in retaliation. Or not retaliation, but in reaction, I should say, I guess. And then stopping production of Marines and building a command center. This is really, really cool. Really, really cool. Now, is GoRush going to fall for it? Is GoRush actually sending some Zerglings across the map? He's probably going to figure this out pretty soon, and he may not make as many Sunken colonies as someone might if they were panicking and thinking, it's a 2 barracks all in! I gotta make as much as possible. Because if he ever gets to this ramp, he's going to see that there's not very many Marines on the ramp. Now, that could be a fake out, right? It could be like, oh, he's not putting very many Marines on the ramp to make me think that he's expanded, but actually he's just rallying one of the barracks backwards so that they're not all in position. You never know. But looks like he is probably gonna. I think we saw. It's hard to see exactly. We're not sure, but I believe on the minimap we saw that those Zerglings were able to kind of have a little skirmish with the Marines, and so they're going to be able to gauge the amount there. And it looks like he has made 2 Sunken colonies. He's making a 3rd as well. But I think he might have been able to get away with delaying one of those Sunkens at this point. It's hard to say. I mean, again, he's not sure though, right? He's not sure if it's a command center behind this or something else, and he needs to just, you know, be prepared just in case. And it's so funny that her like hands are clasped in front of her, that she's so intent on this game. I wonder if she's a XellOs fan or a GoRush fan, but she seems very, very invested in the outcome of this game. But XellOs has just gone ahead and made just a small group there, and they're just chilling in front. He's not actually putting pressure on. So, you know, GoRush missing out on a little bit of an opportunity here to squeeze out some extra minerals. He didn't have to make the third sunken colony, I think. Or the fourth. He could have waited to morph them as well until he saw XellOs moving out. Four is a bit of an overreaction to 5 Marines and 1 medic. Okay, we got to cut another firebat, another medic coming up behind, but this still seems a little excessive to me. But you know, we've seen Zergs get broken by these early attacks, so I guess it's better safe than sorry. This is a pretty important match, as I mentioned, and so he needs to be careful. In any case, XellOs going in, just kind of like poking, doing some target practice on the extractor there. You know, as I've been traveling, I've noticed a lot of signs have bullet holes in them. And it's just kind of just, like, do people drive around rural roads and just, like, fire out their window at, like, road signs? Like, they're just, like, random road signs that are, like, you know, 45-mile-an-hour turn, and there's just, like, bullet holes all over it. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, that's what those Marines were doing. They're just kind of wandering around in the wilderness of this map, right of the Valkyries, and decided to just, like, take some pot shots at a random extractor just for kicks. I mean, Terran Marines are kind of portrayed as, like, redneck type characters, aren't they, in the cutscenes and stuff? So, anyway, not that there's anything wrong with being a redneck. Are we going to see some turrets at the natural here? It looks like XellOs has made some turrets in his main to kind of be able to deal with these Mutalisks that are going to be harassing here, but there's no turrets in the natural. He's got a couple. Okay, those are kind of like, no, those are not. It's hard to tell if those turrets are covering the back of the natural there. But he's just depending on the Marine clump and the bunker behind the expansion there in order to defend. And these Mutalisks are going to come in through here, do some harassment. They're going to get some pot shots down. No kills yet, though, at this point. Actually, no significant damage done to the Terran infrastructure. Only damage done to the Mutalisks, however. The Mutalisks relatively unscathed as well, so they're all going to escape intact. Or they're all going to escape. Maybe not intact, I guess. You know, if a Mutalisk is down to like a third health, does that mean it's like lost one of its wings, or like what does that mean exactly? It may not be intact, depending on interpretation from hit points. But anyway, XellOs is now pushing out here with a really significant squad, and so now those sunken colonies that GoRush made earlier are going to be coming in handy. He's building turrets on the back as a defense in case of counter harassment here. I think he needs to be a little bit more worried about Zergling counter harassment at this point, though. But the Mutalisks get caught in the open. XellOs doing some significant damage. I think we heard one of the Mutalisks die there. Hard to tell, but Lurkers are morphing behind the sunken colonies as well. Queen's Nest going down as well, looking to get towards that hive tech. The third base has been completed in the top left, although it isn't quite mining yet. But a nice little sneaky third. Ooh, and a kind of a sneaky drop fourth as well in that bottom middle base, which you have to drop over to. And where are these Lurkers going? Not sure why they were going up into his main. Is he gonna drop with them? Is he worried about a drop from XellOs and he's putting them in position to defend? Hard to say exactly what's going on. Okay, he's loaded up the Lurkers into Overlords. He's gonna go for the main here, I think. Actually, he could even go for like 2 for the natural and 2 for the main. Does XellOs sense this coming? There is an Overlord in a scouting position to see if any like wraiths or dropships or anything are coming that direction. XellOs thinks something's up because he's bringing his forces back. He's building more turrets on the side here, but these Lurkers are going to be able to get into the main. The Mutalisks are going to come in and reinforce as well to deal with this. He's going to go straight for those turrets. He's going to try and kill the turrets. The turrets doing the dual purpose of defending against mutas and detecting the lurkers. And they go down very quickly, which means that the Mutalisks will be able to get into this position and help out in this fight alongside their lurker brethren under the ground and in the air, working together. Just brings tears to your eyes, doesn't it? Looks like GoRush is going to lose that top left base. It was hidden, but not very well. Hidden in plain sight, and XellOs was like, I'm going to actually just open my eyes and see it. And, yeah, I guess he might not have checked there, but still. He does, and he kills it off very quickly. So now, GoRush down to just 2 bases remaining right now. His third is now his third. It was his fourth. Getting up and running that bottom middle there. But Siege Tech is out now, and he's actually going to be able to siege up and start attacking. Does he not have scans? Is he saving his scans, maybe? But he's not currently attacking. Maybe he's waiting for more siege tanks before he uses a scan. So yeah, there we go. Siege mode up. He scans. He's going to go ahead and start attacking with 3 tanks instead of 1. It's going to make much better use of that scan. Now he's going to stim in to polish off the rest of the lurkers. Very minimal damage taken. And I'm a little surprised GoRush didn't do more there with the Mutalisks. He could have been, you know, harassing the tanks with the mutas, trying to pick off. Well, you know, again, this is 2005 though. So, you know, if this is 2007 and Mutalisk clumping is a thing, I think he is using the lurkers. He would be using the lurkers as like a cover, like a base of operations to send in attack runs with the Mutalisks and try and pick off Marines. But if you don't have the Mutalisk clumping micro yet, you can't really do that. So he's actually kind of just forced to stay back. I still feel like he should have attacked a little bit there, especially when the Marines were going in against the lurkers. But so GoRush at a little bit of a disadvantage here. He has gotten up to the hive tech, and we're seeing. Oh, is there more lurkers going to be going in the back line here? That turret is going after the Overlord. He does actually kill the Overlord before it drops the second lurker out. And the SCVs are going to actually do some work and help kill off that lurker. The VOD is choking on itself a little bit here right now. But there's Guardians morphing over on the side of the second base. So we're seeing a very similar situation here. Guardians are going to be able to come in here. The Wraiths are going to be able to deal with it. But in this case, instead of XellOs being on the back foot, having lost his whole army, XellOs is pushing in and moving in for an attack against GoRush's natural expansion at the same time, and he's killed off the third, which before he hadn't done that as well. So XellOs in a much better position to defend against the same attack here. He also is going to have race out momentarily, and this time GoRush is not so far ahead that he has the extra mutas to build, you know, a couple devourers and have mutas there. And oh, see, now he's getting baited in, attacking the tanks. He's going to lose to the Marines, and oh. She must be a XellOs fan there as the Guardians go down, and she was smiling about that. The tanks are sieging up here, and as the Guardians come in after the tanks, the Marines have a chance to go in and get close enough to actually kill the Guardians is what it looks like. He's actually forced to defend with some Guardians. Here he goes in with the Mutalisks are actually going to defend against that one Wraith that was there. The Guardians that were attacking are being brought back to defend. He's desperately building extra sunken colonies in the background as well to slow this down. But while that's going on, while the battle at the front is happening, XellOs still has the extra resources to send forces around the map and destroy these side bases that GoRush was trying to establish as well. And so it looks like GoRush is going to lose that right side base. Top right base is up next, and he's going to lose that very quickly as well. There's enough Wraiths out to easily deal with this. It looks like he's going to have 5 or 6 Wraiths in a moment. All he has to, I think there's only one Overlord there as well. I think he has Cloak, so he just has to pop that Overlord. And then he can just Cloak kill all the Mutalisks and kill all the Guardians, whatever. Guardians, there are a lot of forces here, though. He may just have too much stuff. There's just a ton of Guardians, so they're actually killing off the Marines. The Marines are kind of in a spot where they keep getting baited in to attack. A nice Irradiate goes down. It's going to do some significant splash damage to the Mutas as well. But is it going to be enough? There's the Cloak. He's going with the Cloak. Where's the Overlord? There's the Overlord in the background. Is he going to actually... No, he pops the Guardian. Sorry, I thought it was the Overlord popping, but it was actually a Guardian dying there. There's the Overlord. The Overlord does go down. He loses 2 wraiths in the process, but it doesn't matter. He's got enough left that he can actually just start chopping away. Just chopping broccoli at that, sorry, that was a weird random reference. Adam Sandler sketch song thing. Anyway, it just popped into my mind. Anyway, he was able to get some Guardians, but then more Overlords came in. Wraith get cleaned up, so GoRush might actually be able to if he can kill off these expansions, start killing SCVs, he might be able to get himself back in this game. He's lost so many bases. GoRush has lost like 4 bases and a lot of drones. You know, thousands of minerals that he's lost here, and hasn't quite gotten enough in response. But maybe he is now if he can keep killing off bases. He did kill off that expansion, by the way. XellOs did not lift his natural expansion and floated away to safety. And so the Guardians were actually able to keep hammering at it and kill it off. And so not a good situation at all here for XellOs in his natural, though. But he still has that 3rd base, and GoRush just hasn't been able to establish a 4th base anywhere on the map. GoRush continuing to fall behind in the sheer unit count here. We're seeing XellOs' first-person view here. Very speedy transferring of SCVs to different bases. It looks like he might be thinking about moving his main command center to his natural expansion. Yeah, because his main is mined out anyway, so that's exactly what he's going to do. It looks like he's moving a bunch of SCVs to his 3rd at least. Building up 4th in that top left base, formerly occupied by GoRush as well. GoRush really established in that 3rd in that island, but hasn't been able to get that 4th base up anywhere. He's got the hive tech, but isn't going to be enough. XellOs, oh, he's actually going to lose some SCVs at the top left location. Kind of interesting, like, you know, 17-minute mark Milos Karas going on. That's what it looks like there. Building another command center, and I guess a little surprised that he's not just floating that one with no minerals left. But he's going to need the extra command center eventually anyway, so maybe he's going to float it up to the top left or something like that. But in any case, XellOs losing a base, but he's not really going to mine too much. Not going to mind too much. He's also not going to mine too much if he loses the bases where he should be mining. But XellOs now pushing in here. Does he have enough to actually kill this base? Oh, he sees... I don't know if he saw it before, but he sees this expansion here. But there's 2 Sunkens, and the drones are going to attack as well. So this is doomed to failure. So XellOs not really doing a great job there, but he's moving in with a ton of Stim Marines into the front there. And the Defilers are not quite able to get down. He does finally get down a Dark Swarm behind the lines there. Does he have enough lurkers to actually make it worthwhile there? It looks like he has 1 lurker, and XellOs forced to fall back. Oh, a nice little drop in the background as well. GoRush is fighting tooth and nail. And when you have cornered a wild animal, its teeth and nails are deadly. And he might actually, in fact, be able to do significant damage here in the backline with 4 lurkers popping out here. He's going to go for that turret first to force scans at the very least. He's got a good lineup there to start killing off some... Oh, and he sneaks some lurkers into the expansion base as well, killing some stuff there. GoRush might actually be able to claw his way back into this game. He has the hive tech. If he can hold this expansion, if he can hold his natural and continue to do damage to XellOs' expansion and his main, he might actually be able to cling on for dear life and climb up out of, you know, he's basically has been hanging on to the edge of a precipice, but you know, the tooth and nails that he's fighting with are all the nails that he's sinking into the ground in order to climb off of that ledge and back up onto the stable ground. And he might be able to stabilize here. Can he get the 4th base, though, is the question here. Is the interesting thing. But he has the Defilers. Now, if the thing is if he can't keep up Defiler production because he doesn't have the gas to keep up with the science vessel production, is he actually going to kill off a comset station with a lurker? That's kind of cool. He's killed off a lot of depots in the background too, by the way. So yeah, he just needs to keep production enough to they can keep putting swarms on his front line with all of his defilers and lurkers dying, basically. And if he can do that, he can actually stabilize here. Coming in with Guardians in the 3rd base as well. And I don't know what XellOs can do about this, actually. You know, he's stopped producing wraiths in order to produce vessels, but he hasn't had that many vessels made, and he doesn't quite have the vessel count to just irradiate all of these Guardians. There's 5 of them here. Okay, well, it helps if one of them runs onto a turret and and just dies to it. But, okay, now he's bringing his Marines back there, and the Guardians are not in a position to go to a defensible location, so they are going to die. So he saves that base. He actually lifts the command center this time. He's going to be able to go ahead and re-land it. And what is with those weird masks? I do not know. So now it's kind of like XellOs has to stabilize a little bit. Lurkers and Lynx coming in, attacking this army, but there's no Defiler with it. There's no Dark Swarm going down, but it's still enough forces to force XellOs back, and maybe he didn't know if there was a Defiler with them, so... But either way, still forced back down that ramp. Nice little attack position, holding that ramp there as well. So, you know, if XellOs gets contained here, and GoRush can establish those top right bases, if GoRush can get those top 2 right bases that he's creating right now, establish... Oh, if he has Swarm! Okay, there's the Defiler. If he can hold this location, he'll kind of bottle XellOs into his side of the map. Oh, a nice Plague going down as well is going to greatly weaken. He's very low on the medics. A Swarm going down as well. Lurkers coming in underneath the Swarm. The vessels need to live. No, the vessel goes down in addition. And now the bunkers have been completed, and those are actually going to save XellOs. I think XellOs was in danger of losing the game right there if he didn't build those bunkers at that 3rd base. Bunkers just so strong, though, against Lurkers. And, you know, against everything, but, like, you know, I just feel like bunkers seem to just kind of be the counter to Lurkers, right? Lurkers depend on killing the Marines so fast that they can't actually do enough damage back to them, right? And when there's bunkers there, you can't kill the Marines as fast because they've got 400 extra hit points protecting them. But you know, the Dark Storm kind of evens that out as well. If you can get a Firebat in the bunkers, maybe that kind of counterbalances that. But we haven't seen much Firebat production though. That would be really clever though if he was able to get some Firebats in those bunkers as a failsafe against an attack here. But XellOs instead just choosing to try to keep the front line in the middle of the map. Look at that spot. We've seen that spot used before. It's a nice little cute spot. And yeah, the Marines are trying to squeeze by on the top, but it looks like enough of them are going to squeeze by. He's got a significant attack force there. The Sunken Colony defense is not quite built yet. XellOs is going to be able to take out that Sunken very quickly and might be able to take out this top right base. There's only a handful of Marines, though. Can GoRush get enough forces up here to just kill it manually? Dropping a Defiler with Lurkers behind the natural at the same time. A Dark Swarm Lurker attack behind the lines there. Looks like he's going to get some SCV kills. And the Zerglings are going to defend the top right. I think he's done it. I think GoRush has gotten his way back into this game, and he's going to be able to... He's not just stabilized. He's you know, he's gotten back up onto the high ground, and he's not just gotten back on his feet, but he's started a sprint away from the ledge towards victory. And now XellOs is the one that's going to have to do something to deal with this charging beast that's going for his throat, because very soon... You know, the jaws of Zerglings and Defilers and Lurkers and maybe even more Guardians and possibly from some Hydralisks. Each of those facets of the Zerg army are teeth, and they're going to clamp down on the throat of the Terran hopes very, very soon if XellOs can't do something to deal with this right now. And there we do, in fact, see some Hydralisks in play, but I think those were just kind of a little bit lost. But actually having some Hydras in the mix is pretty good, especially if you can get a swarm on top of them. But you kind of need more forces with them so they can do damage from the background. But now we're seeing a big drop into the main. XellOs' chance to try and meet some forces in the middle and do some damage might have run out if he just loses an entire main. He is actually going to take out this 4th base. GoRush was so focused on defending the top right, but that he forgot that XellOs will just go around the bottom of it and attack that 4th base. Both players trading some forces right now, but Cracklings under Dark Swarm can do a lot of damage and not take much damage at all. But it looks like... Have things turned back around? I mean, did XellOs pull out a pike and set it as against the charge of this beast, and now GoRush is just going to impale himself on it in his charge because he's not even mining with some of his drones that he hit stop command by accident on his 3rd base? This is getting scrappy, ladies and gentlemen. The game could end very soon, one way or the other, but it's gotten very, very scrappy for both players, trying to preserve what little they have. You know, units are still, lurkers still attacking starports in the main. The cracklings look like they've died, which is actually very good because, for XellOs that is, because, oh, is he going to lose some vessels? He needs to keep those vessels alive in the late game. He only loses one. Very critical defense there. She is real. She was like really shocked there. She is intent on this game as well. So was the person on the left, I imagine, but with that weird creepy mask, you can't tell. Get down the swarm. No swarm gets down, and he's now actually fighting with hydras and lurkers, which is really interesting. I don't think you would see this in 2010 or 2020. He's trying to go after the vessels a little bit with these hydras, and he is able to do some significant damage with them. But he's, you know, normally you would just see the gas going towards more lurkers, and you know the minerals going towards more lings instead. Interesting to see the hydras mixed into the play there. Yeah, and maybe he is worried about the vessels. It's good at picking out vessels, but usually the hydras die so quickly to medic marines that it's not super effective. In any case, the hydras are being decently effective, though. There are lings as well. GoRush is employing all of the parts of the Zerg army, except we haven't seen the Ultralisks yet. In this game. Wow. So now this is really interesting. So now things have swung back around. GoRush went in for a great attack, but I think he'd be in better shape if instead of dropping XellOs' main and not doing a ton, if those same forces had been defending his 4th and 5th, GoRush is in a much better position right now. He still does have hive tech, though. You can never underestimate a dark swarm with some units underneath it. He's actually going to go ahead and get an irradiate off, loses the vessel in exchange, but he gets an irradiate on the defilers, and I think that's probably a better exchange right now. If all of them lose their spellcasters in trade, XellOs comes out on top. So if he can lose a vessel but get a defiler, I think it's a good trade for him right now. There's still a couple defilers waiting in the wings, though. He's pushing into this expansion. Now XellOs, crucially, is mining much more than GoRush right now. If he can defend this, push into his 3rd base, XellOs wins the game. And I know I've called this game back and forth a few times already. Or somewhat called the game. But this has been surprising me over and over again with the game swinging back and forth both directions. And, oh, he's going to take out another vessel. He's going in with hydras. The dark swarm does go down. He needs to kill off those tanks, though. If he can get those hydras underneath the swarm, a nice plague goes down on some of the tanks as well. It's going to make it a lot easier to kill him. Swarm goes down on the bunkers. He can get his units in a great position right now. The tanks are the only thing that can defend him right now, but the tanks are badly damaged because of the plague. Oh, if those hydras had gone over and polished off the tanks, this would be a completely different story. But instead, the tanks are going to be able to just, with that last sliver of health, do enough damage to the ground forces underneath the swarms that I think... Oh, and look at this! He's wrapped his forces around the top as well, so now reinforcements can't get in there. The lurkers... I'm sorry, the defilers are trapped, and they're going to die when the dark swarm runs out. The reinforcements cannot get across the map, but what reinforcements are there? There are none. That was everything that GoRush had left. He doesn't have anything else to go after because he's mining the minerals that is natural expansion just for money at this point. I mean, he might be mining them out so he can take that right side base as well, but still, he's just got nothing left. Just a couple lurkers here. There's not even defilers left. He doesn't have the gas for it, and he's going to be able to kill off those lurkers. He's going to take out the Nidus. No more reinforcements are going to be coming in here, and GoRush just ran out of steam. He came out charging and did, in fact, just impale himself onto the row of pikes erected by XellOs. And XellOs now with the counterattack is going in to finish off the kill. The beast is wounded, and he's going in for the coup d'etat to put it out of its misery. And we're gonna have a tie ball game here, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be tied up at 1 apiece in this series. This is a best of 5, so it's gonna be turning into a best of 3 to determine the winner. GoRush still being scrappy, gets a lurker in behind the lines of the minerals of the 4th base, but right now GoRush is not mining. He's plaguing already plagued units there, but you need forces to actually kill the things that are plagued. And there's some forces right there. The burrow, the plagued ones take damage so much. Oh, the plagued marines going down. The vessel goes down. Probably shouldn't have lost that vessel, but there's 6 more where that came from. Or was that 7? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vessels. I mean, he's lost his natural. He's got, luckily he has 20 drones mining 1 depleted gal. Oh! The massive super eraser to seal the deal. He's going in. He's just going to float on top of everything and kill it all. And he's just absolutely roasting everything underneath there. The lurkers are just gonna go down. The Marines, there's only a few Marines left there, but I mean this is long over. So cute move there to finish things off. To finish off those final lurkers, just makes an absolute cloud of irradiation and floats it over everything. And okay, this is kind of interesting. Vessels being rallied to the natural, I guess, to maybe do another, or not natural, the island base, where there's like 4 mineral patches left. He's doing, I don't know how he found the money for this extra stuff, but he built some units at the island expansion, and he's going in for another attack at the main, but it's just not going to do enough. Another eraser on the drones on the minerals there means that GoRush is now officially 100% not mining minerals at all, and he's mining 2 gases, one of which I believe is depleted. So, you know, XellOs can kind of afford to take these losses in the long run because he's still got 2 mining bases. I think he's still mining at that top left base. The vessels are just too strong. He's going to be able to irradiate everything eventually. He's even irradiating overlords. So, GoRush needs to get out. A valiant attempt, though. You know, you got to hand it to him. He put it all out there, and he gave it every shot he could, even going for the last-ditch drops and behind-the-lines attacks and what have you. And valiant effort, but was not able to secure a comeback in this instance. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. That was game number 2 of this best of 5. What a greatly matched pair of players we have here, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely epic series so far. Well, I guess I couldn't quite call it epic, but a great series so far. Has the potential to be epic if it keeps up like this. We'll see what happens in game number 3. Coming soon.